And as we progress, as we develop, now we have multiple necessities that we need. For example, internet, right? Internet now is a necessity. Now we're transitioning to virtual, like this one, what we're doing. I'm sure your kids, if you have kids, if you go to school, everything is through the internet already. Um, but you have to consider that you do not need everything, right? You have to know the difference between wants and needs, right? Sometimes akala natin need, want lang pala, right? So you have to identify that. You have to self-assess. We have to continuously self-assess ourselves. And isn't it enough, Harlon, to save? Yes, it's nice to save, but remember, the problem with you save is that sometimes it cannot keep up with the inflation. So over time, inflation can reduce the value of money. So simple illustration analogy is, magkano lamang yung Coke 30 years ago? 20 cents. Ngayon, if you go to a local convenience store, how much would it be? 25 pesos. So your 20 cents before might be equal to one soda, but 30 years going forward, it is no longer that much of a value. Wala na ngang pera na 20 cents, di ba? Parang wala na yata circulation. So that's how inflation impacts your savings. Okay, another example, may 10,000 ako ngayon, ay naka-bonus ako, tago ko sa ilalim ng bed, nakalimutan. So after 10 years, yung 10,000 mo noon might not be the same value as 2021 compared to 2001 or 2011. Mali pa yung math, no? So imagine that. If you decide to deposit your money in the bank, average interest rate in the Philippines is just 2%. And unfortunately, inflation rate in the Philippines average for the past few months for this year is 4.1%. So do you see the difference? So in the long term, you are actually not maximizing your hard-earned money. So again, it is not enough just to save money. You need to grow your money. You might want to grow your money and check for the interest rates. You have to invest it better on, make it grow higher than the inflation rate and to maximize your savings and growth potential. So this is now called investing. So what is investing? Investing is growing, protecting, and putting money to work for you. So just like what you saw in the video before we started the webinar, make money work for you, right? So grow, protect. We need to prevent our savings or hard-earned money to go down the drain, and we make it work for you. So what is better than growing your money by growing it without really working? Or is it's passive income? So how good is that? So my question is, if you want to invest, do you want a guaranteed investment, or where do you want to grow your hard-earned money? Do you want a guaranteed result or return, or you don't want that guarantee? So I'll launch the poll. All right, so we have 92%. Transfer price is not 100%, but yeah. So 93% of you wants a guaranteed way of investing. You want to have secured returns, 100% sure na may return. Not a scam, not everything, right? So of course, right? Guaranteed. Mag-invest tayo ng hard-earned money, you would want to have 100% guarantee na mag-grow yung cash natin. So there are actually different ways of growing your money. Number one, save it in the bank. right? How does saving it in the bank works for you? So the good thing about bank time deposits, you can withdraw it anytime. It's very liquid, right? It's very liquid, very guaranteed. Plus, unfortunately, there are low interest rates as mentioned before. There are better interest rates out there for investment. Mutual funds. This diversifies your investment. As an you now entrust your investment to an experienced fund manager. Right? So you're now entrusting that person to make your money grow. So you need to choose a very good fund manager to trust. But when an emergency arises, pulling out may work or not work, depending on the timing. When you say depending on the timing, if you pull out, maybe the market is low, right? We don't have control over the market, right? And we don't have control over the accident. Number three, real estate. It generally appreciates and beats inflation, but it cannot address emergencies. So, ano to, no? Parang Pinoy horror story. You heard this before, right? Yung mga mayayaman, nagkasakit, nagka-aksidente, so they need immediate funds, right? Ang daming property, like mga hektaryang lupa. Um, but when accident happens and sickness happens, they end up selling it and it is now lower the value. Yung 20 million mo na condo, binenta mo na lang ng 5 million, yung naging good investor yung bumili. Especially that they would know na in a rush ka, right? Babaratin at babaratin yung real estate. Right? Number three, own business. It's very high risk, right? So remember, owning a business needs entrepreneurial skills. You need connections. You need that, management skills. Hindi lang basta-basta na marunong ka magluto, mag-business ka agad, right? You have that broad knowledge on how to expand your business and how to maximize the growth of your money in the business. It's very high risk, and you cannot easily liquidate it. It's very difficult to sell a business actually, right? You rarely hear that, and if you do sell that business, most likely you'd end up selling it in a pretty low amount. Stocks, it generally appreciates over a long period of time, and getting into stocks on your own requires expertise, passion, courage, time, lots of money, right? You invest something that you can lose. That's why you need a lot of money there. And lastly, the VUL option. The option that can have the qualities of a mutual fund and other investments. The tools mentioned that can address emergencies. It links savings and investing with readily available funds should emergencies arise. Right? So the good thing about VUL is that your savings is actually protected by another layer, right? If in case death happens, your VUL, since it is a combination of investment, savings, and life insurance, your VUL can actually help you protect you from those. Right? It can replace your income. If death happens, your family will not suffer your loss a little bit, but they can live at least comfortably when you're no longer here. Plus, the good thing about VUL is you can avail that, you can withdraw it while you're still alive, right? Different programs would say na, okay, pag mamatay ako, hindi ko na ma-enjoy yung pera ko or whatever. But in VUL, you can actually withdraw it. So from what you have heard today, which ones do you think is the best the best way to invest your money based on the options that are provided a while ago. So I'll start a poll again. So where do you want to invest? Bank time deposit, mutual funds, real estate, own business, stocks, BUL, or Insurabest? All right. So everyone has answered. So 50%, 51, 50, 40. Oh, gumagalaw pa pala. Sorry. Yan. All right. So 51% of the attendees has decided to invest in BUL or Insurabest. 13% own business. Yes, I like the two. Freedom to run your own business. And third is real estate, which also surpasses the inflation rate. Right. All right. Thank you for sharing your thoughts, guys. Appreciate that. Right. So with all the options that was provided, may it be real estate, may it be BUL, remember, money needs time to grow. So the picture that you're seeing here, the tree that you're seeing, money doesn't grow on trees, but it can grow in time. But a good analogy for trees here is that the longer that you wait, the bigger the tree grows, right? And the bigger the tree grows, if you harvest it on time, for example, with the approval of the NR, if you harvest it on time, then you can make a big house out of it. But if you are in a hurry and you don't want to wait, in the span of 1 year, you want to harvest that tree, you may get one wood plank, dos por dos. What are you going to do about it? Right? You want to wait or you don't want to wait? Gusto mo ba yung dos por dos o bahay? Or the longer you wait, the tree becomes more stable. Right? Kahit anong baha, kahit anong unos, nag-root na yung tree, then it's almost impossible to uproot. Right? So that's how stability, as time goes by, the more stable your investment would be. Right. So in investing, you have to have a long-term mindset when you invest. It all boils down to what we have said earlier, the discipline of investing. If you have a certain amount of goal or a certain goal from start to finish, make sure you stick to that. Right? There might be some distractions, but definitely go back to why do you want that dream, right? And when is your deadline? And you have to stick to it. The discipline comes within you, right? Your dream depends on how self-disciplined you are. Saving, investing, and all those strategies to grow money need time, just like the illustration of the tree. But unfortunately, what if suddenly you run out of time? What happens now? Right? So what if disability happens? Right? So knock on wood. We don't want that to happen, right? So what if naputol yung paa mo or naging disabled ka, preventing you from generating the amount of income that usually generate for your family? May makaka-replace ba ng income mo from your family? Would someone be able to step forward to provide that income to your family? The worst thing is, right, at least for me, imagine you're already disabled and you're now pabigat to your family, aalagaan ka, right? So the expenses won't stop at the medical bills, right?